welcome to this video. I am going to preview the Manchester United versus Fulham game on Sunday. A place where I think United's record against Fulham away is really good. In fact, I believe that United haven't lost there in years. After last week's performance against Arsenal, it's hard to feel like United won't have a good game there. It's hard to feel like United won't be able to get the win against Fulham. If you can do exactly what we did against Arsenal again, surely we will actually score some goals. Surely against a team that's not as good as Arsenal, we will be able to actually get the victory and get the 3 points. When you think about the fact that in that game against Arsenal, United only conceded off of the mistake from the goalkeeper from a set piece to one of the set piece teams in the league. And then you look at Fulham and you think, surely we cannot concede again like that to the same type of thing. Surely we can defend well from open play and get some kind of result here. If I look at Fulham in the last game against, Brighton, they obviously scored at 90 plus 7 to draw it level. They weren't particularly good. They were dominated for large stretches of the game. When you look at the numbers, 50-50 on possession, 0.76 XG created, and I think the final one, 0.15. They had a bunch of little ones in here, which do worry me a little because I feel like these all were set pieces. I could be wrong, though. I feel like they had a lot of set pieces, but they didn't accumulate a lot of danger. They did allow a lot of shots in the box from Brighton, who probably should have gotten a bit more from the game as well. They weren't particularly strong from the game that I watched. They were pretty mediocre. I mean, it's the first game of the season, so it's always hard to tell. Some teams just get better later on. But regardless, they were really not very dangerous. When I look at their team and kind of the matchup overall, you've got Sanderberg, Lucic, and King in the middle. Iwobi, Raul Menez, Wilson, Tete Anderson. I mean, Calvin Bassey. This is not a team that United should struggle to beat. We shouldn't need to get everything exactly right. We shouldn't need to necessarily, we didn't pick this one player or got this one decision wrong or this one substitution wrong. That means we won't win. Truthfully, it would be pretty shameful for United not to pick up the victory against Fulham. When you look at the team and the quality that they have, it's not that great. When you take these kind of matchups in here, I mean, if you have our attack running against these defenders, we've got to be able to beat them. We've got to be able to get at them. We have to. There's just no way that we shouldn't be able to dominate control and possession. And frankly, it's another game where you think they don't really have the pace up front, the attack up front, where you have to sit and worry and say, oh yeah, that guy. I mean, Adama Traore is going to come on at some point and do whatever Adama Traore does, kind of just run at you, and you have to be able to deal with that kind of pace, but he doesn't particularly have any end product. We've seen this before with Fulham, but oftentimes it feels like we get the win, but it's a slog kind of fighting through, where they're at and how we can beat them, and getting some kind of final goal. But we've got the attack, we've got the players to do it. So I really think that there's nowhere we don't match up well on the pitch when you look at the overall team. So let's take a look at that. This is the team that I would pick, I think. I've kind of gone back and forth around the goalkeeper. I don't particularly care who it is, but it doesn't really matter to me, honestly. I think we should be able to have enough of the ball. I think we should be able to have enough of possession that the goalkeeper isn't that big of a deal. And I'd like to see us be able to just control the game again like we did against Arsenal, and I don't see why we can't. Up front, we really missed Benjamin Sesko against Arsenal, especially in that first 50, 60 minutes. There were so many instances it felt like we were getting up the pitch into dangerous areas, but there was just nobody to get it into the box to, nobody to cross it into, nobody to, just find in that position, no focal point. And it made it, I felt like it was hard to get the ball to stick and to get a way where United could maintain control, maintain possession, and stay higher up the pitch. So Sesko, I think we really need him in there. And it's tough because Mason Mount had a good game, but I think Cunha can be better, just as good or better in that position. But certainly I think Sesko makes for a better striker. I think Cunha was really great, and especially when he moved deeper, he was doing amazing things. I want him doing that all the time. I don't want him sitting up here on the back line. I want him dropping deep, picking the ball up, carrying it, do the things he's so good at, and being able to help United get up the pitch. And I think he's going to be a lot more influential. I think Mason Mount makes for a fantastic potential impact sub to come on, break down the small spaces and things like that. For me, Cunha and Mbeumo, there's a no-brainer there. They were both impressive. Keep United on the outlet balls. Dorgu's the right choice there. Ahmad, again, I think he would have started last week if not for just a little thing. I think he'll start this week. We need the extra attack. We need to be able to go at them. I don't think we can go, Dalot didn't have a terrible game, and it's not like we weren't attacking, but we need to keep improving that Ahmad and Mbeumo partnership. I felt when Ahmad was on the pitch, we got into some really dangerous areas. We created some really dangerous attacks, but at the same time, they were getting in each other's way a bit. So I've hoped they've been working on that. But still, I want those dangerous moments. There were so many times when they did things that were great, and the danger of both of them was really a problem for the opposition, but they just got in each other's way. Bruno, of course, as we know. In the midfield, I was tempted here. Casemiro had a good game. Casemiro had a very good game. However, I want to say to that I am curious, does it change if and when we are at a point where we're trying to press up higher on the pitch, right? Where we're trying to press up higher on the pitch and we're controlling possession and we're in the attacking area and we're trying to maintain our attack. Does Casemiro have the running and the pressing to not only win the ball back quickly, but to get back as needed? This is not me saying we should start Ugarte. He had a bad game, but I'm just saying the game state, the way that we played against Arsenal definitely did suit Casemiro. He was kind of sitting in our own half the whole game, pinging the ball through, which is great, and we'll still need that. But if we end up in that position where Fulham are in a low block, where we've ended up before, do we have somebody to help press up and win the ball quickly? I think potentially we just need the center backs to contribute a lot more in that respect. That's my only thing, because it is one of the reasons why I don't want to see us lose the ball, not be able to win it back, have to go all the way back and run back and forth and all of that. With Arsenal, there were a lot of quick attacks, but we didn't really set up in their half very much. I think against Fulham we will, and it may be in smaller games it's better to have players who can press up high. I mean, I would be tempted to start anybody, even Kobbie Mainoo in a sense, so that you just have a bit more attack and a bit more of that up high pressing and tackling. I don't know. But regardless, Casemiro had a good game, so he probably should start and see if we can keep that going. But I am curious to see if it changes in a different type of game, how he plays. The back line, I think, picks itself, even though I think Maguire could be essentially also more useful for a game against a loaded box with some of the passing, some of the things he can do in the box. But De Ligt earned his place in the team. He has earned that spot. Such a good performance, can't be dropped. Great performance. He's got to stay. I don't think you change anything else. Keep some stability in the team. So very little by way of changes. I would just get Sesko on and Ahmad on, and otherwise I'll leave it the same. I think if we start with something like that, obviously, like I said, I think we should be good enough to win, even if the team's not 100% right. And like we saw last time, we had all these feelings about the lineup. We thought Mount would be a problem. We thought Sesko would be a problem. We thought Dalot would be bad. We thought Casemiro. We thought that, a lot of different things. We still played a great game and probably would win it 9 times out of 10 if we played that same game. Now against Fulham, we need to repeat that at least, but we do need to get Sesko going. There's no doubt about that. So I would really like to see him play. I'm going to go with a 3-0 victory. I think United finally get through this barrier and score some goals on Sunday. I think Cunha's going to get off the mark with 1 or 2. I really think it's his day. I think Ahmad's going to score a goal as well. And then it could be Cunha with 2 or Sesko with one of the others. My man of the match is going to be Cunha. I just think he's going to be so influential in these games. And when you're against loaded defenses, he's so technical and he finds the spaces so well. I think he's the guy. We struggled with build-up against Fulham without Xerxes. That last time we played them, the one Lissandro won. I think Cunha solves that problem from the 10, and he's going to help us get up the pitch really well. So man of the match, Cunha, 3-0, United victory. Roll on some confidence, some good feeling into Grimsby, into the Le Mans signing, and then I think we will start to all feel a lot better. That's my prediction. Don't let me down, United. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on. See you in the next one.